Hello, little Miss Granny Smith. Granny Smith, of course, is the apple of my eye. And she has a very interesting story, very petite little thing. She is a very tiny little girl. You see how small her head is. And she has very, very short hair. It's so short, in fact, it's almost coarse to the touch when you pet her. She doesn't mind being touched or petted or handled. I can pick her up and carry her. Very, very gentle creature, which is surprising for an animal that was essentially feral and born in the wild. Granny Smith was living under a shed. She was born there and she lived there, and she was TNVR'd. You can see her ear was tipped by the people that were living out there. They would put food out for her and she'd come out and eat, and her siblings were caught and TNVR'd. And they moved on and she stayed behind. And we ended up with her because of her leg. The owner of that house noticed that she had been limping. What we didn't know was that she had been limping for months. Literally, she had been limping for months. And we caught her and we had her checked out and we brought her home. And it turns out that her elbow had been broken, and apparently had been broken for a very long time. So now, even though it is healed, she is still debilitated. Her leg has a permanent limp. She will always walk like that because it did not heal correctly. But she's not in pain, and it doesn't limit her that much. She does limp, but she also does run around and jump and play and carry on. Now, again, this is an animal that was born outdoors, was feral, and had limited human contact. Once we got her in the house, she will not leave. She will not go outside. Once she settled down, because she was very scared at first and didn't even want to get out of the pet carrier, but once she did and she explored the inside of the house, I guess she decided this is the life for me, and she won't go out. If you open an exterior door, she backs up from it. She does not ever want to go outside again, apparently. She likes this. And that's a complete 180 attitude from cats that are traditionally brought in from an outdoor setting like that. Now, I just took these off, and out of nowhere, here's Granny Smith so that she can lay on my shoes. And that's the personality here. That's what she does. Hi, Granny, I see you. If I take something off and I put it down anywhere, she materializes and lays on it so that I can't touch it again. I mean, I could take it from her, but I just don't want to. I don't know why she does that. Just cute and quirky. Right, dear? That's a fish that was sent to us by Jane, who is a friend of the channel. It's one of those electronic fish that flop around when you touch it. And that's Granny Smith laying on top of it. And she won't... Hi, buddy. How you doing? She won't let anybody play with it. She gets really upset if anyone comes near that fish. That's Granny with her little fish. It's her favorite thing in the world, and she carries it around and plays with it. It's dead right now because it needs to be charged. But that's her favorite toy, and she doesn't like the other cats to touch it. It was a gift, actually, from one of the viewers who sent it to our P.O. box. Hi, Granny Smith. Granny Smith is a little nervous because some of the other cats are wandering around wondering what I'm up to. Another really interesting story about Hi, monkey. Another really interesting story about Granny Smith is the adoption process. Now, we're currently taking care of 18 felines. Okay? And we had, some time ago, 2 that were going up for adoption. And it was almost 3 because we also brought Granny Smith, and it was being facilitated by a local shelter. I was bringing the 3 of them in, and arrangements had already been made. And we got the other 2 adopted, no problem. Little Granny Smith here goes absolutely apeshit at the appointment. Totally over the top feral. Couldn't be managed even by the facilitator with a pair of gloves. What are you doing to us? You brought us this crazy feral cat. I'm like, who? Granny? Uh-uh. And there you see that limp again because her elbow is permanently damaged. Right, Granny? She gets around fine, though. She's not in pain or anything. She just lurches when she walks. There you go, Granny. It's all right, honey. I'm talking about you, though. She goes absolutely nuts, and I'm like, not Granny. She's a sweetheart. I can carry her around like a baby, cradle her in my arms. And I went and I got her, and she was perfectly fine again. And I put her in the carrier, and I'm like, okay, Granny Smith apparently doesn't want to go anywhere. Quiet on the entire ride home. No issues, no problems. I had no problem getting her into the carrier or anything. She just knows what she wants, and what she wants is to be right here, I guess. Which is fine. Okay, Granny, you're not suitable for adoption. We'll keep you. Honestly, I wish I could keep them all. I hate doing the adoptions. It's just that there's a limit to how many are sustainable for us to take care of. As I pointed out, we're currently taking care of 18, 5 of which are living in the house with us, including Granny Smith here. Isn't that right, darling? If you heard the noise that she had just made a minute ago, Granny does not make traditional cat sounds. She makes these odd chirps and clicks, and sometimes I even call her Little Bird, because that's sort of what she sounds like. I've never heard her meow like a cat or make traditional noises. It's always these clicks and chirps and weird noises. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why she makes those sounds. But that's the tale of Granny Smith. Again, she's a sweetheart. She's a sweet little thing. Friendly little thing for the most part. She avoids the other cats, honestly. She does mess around with Monkey sometimes. That was Monkey right here. Hi, Monkey. She will play with him from time to time, but for the most part, she really doesn't mess around with the other cats too much. Isn't that right, dear? Isn't that right, dear? Oh, there she goes. Daniel's not going to bother you, don't worry. Oh, here we are. Behave. Another thing about Granny is she's never really aggressive. Like, you see, she's gripping me right now, and she nibbled my hand a little bit. But she never grips, scratches, or bites enough to even leave a mark. She's actually pretty in control of her instincts. Again, very surprising for a formerly feral animal that she behaves that way, that she chooses to be that way. She's never really fully aggressive towards me or anybody. No risk of being harmed by Granny Smith. She's good at getting underfoot too. She's often like, I've got to be really careful because she moves around quietly, and if I sit down somewhere, she ends up under me, and I don't want to step on her or kick her by accident.